Hey, everybody. Excuse me. Welcome to Pop on Paintball Live. Tonight's going to be a little bit of a different show tonight. I'm sure all of you already know that I was at the Iron City Classic on the weekend, and it was awesome. And tonight is not a fake it till you make it show. Tonight is a Let's Talk Iron City Classic show. You have to forgive me a bit. Because I don't have a guest, I'm going to be sipping away on this lovely transfuse so that I'm not doing a little bit of a cough and clear and whatnot. But yeah. But so tonight I'm going to do it all by myself. If anybody wants to join me, send me a request. I have no problem with bringing somebody on if they want to talk about the Iron City Classic. Oh, we got Kieran in the house. That's awesome, buddy. I can't wait to see you, meet you in a couple weeks in Denver. That's going to be amazing. And we got Rob Walker. Dude, I had so much fun with you. Now, but before we get into all that, I do want to make a quick shout out to my sponsors quickly. Obviously, Ultra Silk. Actually, Caesar gave me something really cool. Check this out. I'm going to have to find a way to put it up properly, but that is Detroit Fusion team shirt with obviously Ultra Silk on it. Isn't that gorgeous? Like, that's just sexy as hell. Like, I love it. Anyway, we also got to give a shout out to the Ali Remembered Foundation. Man, did I have fun with them at Iron City Classic. They had a whole bunch of what's the word I'm looking for? We actually had the MacDev booth. We were there with RC Customs. We had some Virtue stuff to sell. We'll talk more about that as well. Jelly Ball, the big people, the main reason why I shouldn't say the main reason, but these guys are awesome. I will be finishing up a photo shoot for a local newspaper with Jelly Ball and my Jelly Ball business in the next few days. That should be amazing. We just have to take a bunch of pictures, so I'm excited about that. I will share that with you when I can, but I honestly do believe that Jelly Ball, it's hard when the pictures are reversed. Anyway, so I honestly believe Jelly Ball is going to be the savior of paintball. I believe that it will add a lot more customers and everything to existing paintball fields because kids that are age 5 and up will be able to play. So, but we will talk more about Jelly Ball later. Obviously, Transfuse because it's awesome. And by the way, just so you guys know, I tend to keep Gatorade bottles and rewash them, and then I just put water in the fridge and then it's nice and cold. So that way, when I want to drink my Gatorade or I want to drink my Transfuse, I have the good in recycled bottle. So good for the planet, good for the body, just good all around. All right, and last but not least, we also have to give a huge shout out to Paintball Media Magazine. Well, actually, it's just Paintball Media. So they're not just doing magazines. They also do all those documentaries, which I like to help out on when and where I can. I actually had the opportunity to spend a lot of time with John Amadea this weekend. He came out, and man, it was good to catch up with him. Not only is he an undersung icon of paintball, because most people don't know that he was in it back in the early to mid 80s. He's traveled with everybody. He was a member of Bad Company, which is company. Like, he gives so much of himself to the paintball community, just creating the history and the documentaries. I am so very proud to be able to work with him. All right, so let's just take a look quick here. All right, so we got some Facebook users saying, can we go live? Well, I'm already live. I don't know who you are because you didn't give StreamYard permission to use, or Facebook permission to use StreamYard. So can't talk to you about it, but that's that. And then we got Nicholas Hunt. Check this out. See, that just sounds like a bad joke from Porky's. And we got Rue. Hey, Connor, how's it going down under? I'm glad to hear that you are healing up and things are getting started. I'm assuming can't wait to meet you. That is Kieran. So I'm glad to hear, Kieran. You and I are going to be doing some really cool shows in a few weeks. So we're looking up for that. And we got Damien. Joker from the Gator Mail checking in. This guy is amazing. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I've snapped a lot of pictures. We're going to go through those shortly. But he's got these really cool Gator, well, it's chainmail, but like a plastic light chainmail to protect your neck and stuff. And the stuff is amazing. I just thought it was really great. And we got greetings from Team Armada Mexico. Nice. Okay, so I have nothing but great things to say about these guys. By the way, Team Armada, make sure you watch for Paintball Media Magazine coming out very soon. I gave you guys a huge shout out in my article that I finished up this morning. So that is going to be amazing. And so I hope you guys like it, but look for it. Look for the article I wrote and look for your pictures in the magazine. I can't say what John Amadea will and will not print. It's his magazine after all, but know that I submitted some really cool stuff. All right. And we got Paul Farrell. Hey, Paul, great to see you. And we've got Chris Devlin. Okay. So for those of you who don't know, long time ago when I used to play paintball, Chris Devlin was one of my teammates on, I believe the team was called Canadian Black Shield. Now he runs around like a pirate singing Irish songs, and it's just the greatest thing ever. I love this guy to death. We need to get him playing more paintball. He stepped out of it for a bit, and we need to get him up and charging. So that's just awesome. All right, so I don't know why Connor is sending me messages while I'm live, but I can't take it right now, Connor, but I do appreciate it. All right. And then we've got Jeannie Mills. We got Bill Mills' mom. That's awesome. I love Bill Mills. He's just like the greatest. And Chris Devlin, not that long ago, brother. Well, you remember it your way. I'll remember it my way. Anyway, so I'm really glad everybody's on tonight. This is amazing. All right, so why don't we start talking about the Iron City Classic? Because I've got a lot of pictures that I took, and I'm going to brief through them quickly on here. A lot of them was given to Paintball Media Magazine, so you might be seeing bigger blown up ones. And yeah, so let's get to Iron City Classic, shall we? So let's just add this to the stream. Ooh, baby. Oh, we got Rob Hansen saying, what's up? And we got Julian saying, hey. So great. All right, guys. I am going to be closing the chat screen for a little bit. Not that I don't care what you have to say, but I have to be able to show some of the pictures that I've taken, and that means that I can't actually see what you guys are chatting about. So let's switch over to, actually, let's just do this. And then I will click over here because I'm cool like that. So we were set. This is a picture while we were setting up first thing in the morning of the Virtue booth. Now, if you take a look, you can see that how far that tent goes to the left. To the right was the pathway, and our tents stretched all the way to the left with all our teams. We had Laughing Coffins. We had we had a lot of teams under the Ali Remembered Foundation. I'll show you more pictures about that later. Nobody wants to see them pre-set up. This was pretty cool. These are actually handmade headbands, and they had an amazing selection. And it's players by players, but it is also for a good cause. Now, I honestly, people kept telling me it was for a good cause, but I don't remember what it is. So if anybody from Handmade Headbands wants to reach out and say what it is you guys are doing it for, please let me know. But I remember there was some sort of a charity involved, but I can't remember what else it was. Now, this is one of the things I want to show while they're setting up. This is the Free Flow Technology tent. And once it was fully set up, it was absolutely mind-blendingly cool. Like, it was amazing. All right. So after we had set up for a little bit, because you can see our whole thing slides all the way down, and beside us we had RC Customs. And RC Customs, which is a proud sponsor of the Ali Remember Foundation, they actually print out custom Ali Remember Foundation bodies. They have a couple other bodies that they print. They make gun stands. They make, these are all freak barrel freak barrel insert protectors. It's just awesome. All right. Let's see what else we have. The CBD place. There's a picture here I was looking for. HydraFit came out. These guys were incredible. Now, the cool thing about HydraFit, and Andy was wearing them all weekend, and they just became a sponsor of the Allergan Foundation as well. You can't really see I should have taken a better picture of the knee pads, but the knee pads that HydraFit has are actually more like a knee brace. And so the top layer is uncuttable. It's got a gel to protect your knees, and they don't slip. Andy was actually wearing his all weekend long, and they never moved once, like the whole time. Oh, I hit the wrong button. There we go. All right. Let me just switch back over here for a second, and let's see what people are talking about. All right. People are just saying, all right, everybody's just saying hi to each other. Fine. Cool. All right. Actually, I'm going to switch this to that just so that they can see that I'm here. All right. I'm happier with that. Now, moving on. Actually, I'm on the HydraFit page. Yeah, now I'm just going to stay with what I'm doing. Ignore me. I'm going crazy here. Yeah, no, it was just absolutely amazing. Like the camaraderie of the Iron City Classic and all the players that were there. And I remember I told you how once the free flow tent set up, isn't that an incredible booth for a paintball facility? Like, it's not just the standard norm. They went out of their way. They made this tent is just absolutely incredible, and I loved it. So, all right. And just for curiosity, if anybody has any questions, please shout out. I'm going to occasionally check back and take a look at. Somebody says here that I've been wearing a pair of them for 2 months. Excellent products. And it says very comfortable. I assume very comfortable, unless you're talking. Yeah, I'm not going to make a homosexual joke, but I was almost going to make a homosexual joke, but I'm not going to. And the knee pads are very comfortable. Great product. See, that's what I was loving. Like, it was a unique product. I've never seen that particular type of knee pad before. And yeah, I just loved it. All right, let's get back to the pictures here. I thought it was interesting, and this is something that people who may not know. So these are the pictures that were on these are the autocockers that were on the back of the free fall wall. I always thought that Free Flow only sold their own style of autococker, like they would make and sell their own. But as you can see, a lot of these are older autocockers. I mean, that right there is the Oracle body, and I believe those are the Pro stocks, and they completely take them, they upgrade them, they anodize them, they put all the good parts in it. So these are all free flow autocockers, but they just don't have the custom milled bodies that are the free flow technology. And I thought that was really interesting. So it was really cool to see that they actually have, like, that's one of the old, one of the newer autocockers. You'll have to forgive me, guys. I am still 100% exhausted from the trip. I was away. Let me just click back here for a second. Let me just change this back. I was actually away. I left on Wednesday afternoon at 7:30 p.m., which is why I didn't have a show last week. I took a couple hours nap, and then I had to get to the airport, because once I was at the airport, I had to spend the night, because I had to start checking in at 4 a.m. And because of COVID, I wasn't able to actually sign in, or there was no late buses and things like that. So I had to leave early, sleep at the airport, and then after that, check in, fly out. Then I had to fly to Atlanta. Then there was like a 4-hour layover or something like that. And then I finally landed in Pittsburgh at 2:30 p.m. on Thursday. So this has been one hell of a long week for me. I came home and I just crashed. I just did. I don't even know what else to tell you, man. It was just long. And then after that, I'm sleeping with one eye open, because you've got Andy, when the trickster, with constantly having we have to sleep with one eye open, because he plays pranks on you when you're sleeping. He just does. I mean, they're not Not going to hurt you or anything, but woo. Okay, so we got Drew stuff saying, you know what? It was fun. Sometimes the few hardships make for the absolute best stories, and I definitely think that this is one of those situations. But I'm tired. Like, I'm very tired. Unfortunately, the downside to sleeping on the airport floor is it completely tweaked my back. He freezes my bra. Bonchik, really? Really? No. The last time he didn't actually play any cranks on me this week. I was expecting him to, but he didn't. The last time when I was sleeping, he draped the Immortal Air banner over me. And then while I was sleeping, like a blanket tucking me in with Immortal Air. And I got to be honest, I love Air America. There's my tank up there. You can't see it behind the jelly ball. I love Air America, but those banners, they make one hell of a fantastic sleep. You will never sleep as well as you will under an Immortal Air banner. It's just beautiful. So, anyway, because I slept on the floor, it tweaked my back, and I was a hurting unit all weekend. I'm still a little on the weak side, but I'm feeling much, much better. But the problem was, because I slept on the floors and because I was hurting all weekend, I had to say no to actually playing at the Iron City Classic. And that sucks because I was actually supposed to be playing 5-man with Team Fox, and we'll show some pictures of these guys in a little bit because I've got lots more pictures. But I was supposed to play 5-man with Team Fox, and then I was supposed to be playing 10-man with the Master Blasters. Now, granted, I was only going to be an alt, and I was only going to be an alt on the second team. But that being said, I still would have been suiting up with one of the longest running, possibly the longest running paintball team in history. Like, it's just, I'm not saying they are the oldest. I'm not quite sure who the oldest is. If John Amadeo was around, he'd be able to tell me because he is just filled with facts like that. I know the Booney Boys have been around for a long time, but the Master Blasters have been around since the 80s, and they're still alive and kicking. And to be able to have that banner on the shirt, man, that would have been a hell of an honor. Anyway, so, all right, what do we got here? We got the travel part would suck, but the paintball aspect would be epic and make for the travel. You know what, Drew? It really did, other than the fact that I wasn't actually able to play, but all right. And then we've got Rob King. I was bummed you couldn't play, but it will happen again. Yes, it will definitely happen again. And I will suit up. I was actually able to get a Team Fox, and this is Rob Walker, and that's the Fox paintball and the Team Fox logo. I've actually got my own Team Fox jersey now. So I'm on the roster officially. So here's hoping I earn the juniors. I hope I earn this. Can you tell I talk professionally? Can you? I can't. Can you? Anyway, I hope I earn the jersey soon because I have a real problem with wearing jerseys that I don't earn. The only one that I actually have that I haven't earned really is as far as I'm concerned, is the Iron Men jersey. But I don't have my name or anything on the back. They sent that out to me to help support the podcast, and I love them for it. So that jersey I have. But in any case, I really want to earn the Team Fox jersey, and I want to play with the team. And I want to play with the Booney Boys too. Before Bobby doubts, before you start piping up, I know I've never officially played on the Booney Boys in a tournament situation with a jersey. I know that, but I have played with you like a bazillion times as a practice dummy. Well, I consider I've earned that journey because you guys have shot me up so much. It's not even funny. Anyway, all right, let's get back to the photographs. Where did we leave off? Okay, so we were talking about free flow. All right, so this is Team Fox. Let's check these guys out. Can you see why I want to play with these guys? Tell me that's not fun. And by the way, this bald head here, that would be Rob Walker. This picture is not the best quality one I've done. It's focused on the back of Bob Walker's head, or Rob Walker's head, I should say. But yeah, it just, Joys of a DSLR. But I mean, how fun is this? All right, so that's the GI Sports. We don't need to see that. Oh, and the paintball media, or the actual tournament, was held at Urban Assault Paintball. I honestly am surprised at how small this sign is. Bear with 1 second. I expected something more grandiose. And I'm not saying it's bad, because the more I thought about it, the more this sign really means that it's simple and it's basic, and that's sort of what the Iron City Classic is. It's not a whole lot of show, it's a whole lot of substance. And I just absolutely love that about the Iron City Classic. All right, what do we got? We got Chica saying good evening, everyone, and hey, Steve. Hey, Chica. And he is a blast, isn't he? All right, let's get back to the photographs here. Let's see what else we got. All right, so this is just a random picture. I'm not exactly sure who these guys are, but this is this is the woods between vendors and stuff. People just filled these woods with small tents, stay in the shade, sit. I've got more pictures to show later, but this was the whole vibe of the actual tournament. Like, everybody was just sitting around, chilling between games, getting to know each other, complete socializing. It was still a tournament, but it was way friendlier than any tournament that I have been to in a long time, possibly ever. Yes, we got to show this. So this was all the guns that we had for the Ali Remembered Foundation. These were all for sale, and we sold a few. I want you guys all to notice that right there on that red marker up in the middle, yes, we had a mechanical Mac Dev with us for sale. We actually had a couple, and I think we sold at least 2, but don't quote me on that. I wasn't the one specifically dealing with the sale of the guns. However, how cool is that? We showed up and we brought the mythical gun that everybody thought didn't exist. We were the first ones to have it out, and I just think that's amazing for the Ali Remembered Foundation. All right, so where is it? Yeah, here we go. 724 Custom Prints. They had a whole lot. They also were doing buy, sell, resell. So as you can see, they had a lot of different guns for sale, and they were doing the buy, sell, trade thing. That was awesome. Okay, where else were there? Were some pictures of the All-Americans. A lot of these pictures I'm not clicking up because I shot a lot of them for the magazine, so you'll have to bear with me. I'm just clicking on the ones that I think are really cool and really poignant. I love this one of the Hyperball and the Saber Wolves New Jersey. I think that they look absolutely amazing, and I really like how this picture just lays out. I hope John uses it in the magazine. And okay, let's see what else we got for pictures. I kind of found this funny. I mean, I understand this is Vulcan Tactical and they do airsoft and stuff and everything, but no shooting in this area, and they show a picture of an AR-15. Now it could be an airsoft or whatnot, but I just find that funny. Anyway, so I had to take a picture. Here's another great picture of Team Fox getting ready to go. How cool are those jerseys, right? Now, mine doesn't have a number or anything on the back, but it doesn't really need to. But there's Rob. Let's take another picture here. Yeah, and there's another picture of Team Fox just ready to go. For those of you who don't know, Team Fox is the factory team for Airgun Designs, which I think is pretty awesome. Oh, yes. We got to show this picture out. We got Caesar. He was out and about and doing some pretty cool things. Now, he was talking and helping with guns and souping things up, answering lots of questions. Caesar was everywhere. The guy's amazing. Like, I mean, I'm happy he helps out with the show and specifically my guns and my gear. My mechanical guns are actually with him right now, so like hopefully they'll be ready in a couple weeks when I'm in Denver to use and play with. I can't wait. I see. I switch back here and see what people are saying. All right, so we got. There is still no way that you had a bigger smile than me during the All-Star game. I bet that's true. I didn't even actually watch the All-Star game. I was too busy out and around schmoozing, things like that. And we got somebody here saying, great job with everything, brother. #A. Guys, you got to give Facebook permission to use StreamYard or StreamYard permission to use your Facebook name. I would love to respond to this comment, but I don't know who you are. Just as Facebook. So somebody please tell me who this Facebook user was. Also, does anybody have any questions while I am looking around? All right, so let's get back to this a little bit here. We'll just bounce back over to that, swing over here. All right, so there was the Young Guns. Jennifer Montresor had brought in a couple kids teams. I had to take a few pictures of this kid. How cool is this kid? It's like Thomas Taylor before he was Thomas Taylor. Like, how great is that? I don't know these kids' names. I didn't get a chance to know them that well. But yeah, like they actually won a few games. I believe there was the Montresor's Maulers. I believe they won 4 of their games, and the other team won 2. But they were just helped. They were just supported with by all the players. Everybody was supporting them, cheering them on, giving them pointers. Both teams were fantastic. I got more pictures of them later when they're together. All right. I have to give a huge shout out to Russell Jackson. He never stopped moving. He was working very hard to make sure that this tournament was excellent. And I have to give credit where credit was due. Like, I mean, not that everybody involved wasn't working really hard. I just happened to be on the picture here. And Russell was on top of it, and he was really, really working to make things happen. All right, we got some more pictures of Caesar here. We got pictures of one of my favorite people ever in paintball. I just got to give a plug out to Justin Owen just because it'll embarrass him. But I have no idea how the Saberwolves did, but he's an amazing dude. Oh, and guys from Lone Wolf showed up. So I had to snap some pictures of them, but it was really cool to see them meet the name. Travis Lemansky. I love this picture. I know that it's not particularly centered and whatnot, but I don't know. You had to be there for the moment, I guess. But Travis Lemansky was it was just a great, great moment. All right, let's see what else we got here. Like I said, a lot of these pictures that I took were for background stuff for the magazine. All right, let's just switch back over to this here. We got somebody saying ahoy. And we got that's John Blake Riddle A. Okay, thank you, Robert. I'm on John Blake. All right. And we got any gameplay stories. Gotta be honest, Kev, I was running around so much meeting people and just creating content and doing interviews for Paintball Media. I didn't actually get to watch a lot. I did see the big shootout where the dead box just opened up on that player that was playing on, and I got to see that moment. And I did get to see the final games with I can see all the final games really, but those are all on Go Sports, and I really couldn't do it justice because I was only seeing from one side. There was nothing in the gameplay that was really that I saw that was really noteworthy. Not that the gameplay wasn't fantastic. I was there. My back was hurting. I wasn't slugging all the way to the fields. I was just wandering around, talking with everybody, getting to just schmoozing. John Amadei and I were doing a bunch of interviews for the upcoming Paintball Media documentary, which I'm very excited about, but not saying a word. All right, so we got, let's see what we got. So it was Montresor's Marauder, the girl we called Demon or Little Demon, right. And the little blonde hair kid was Corey, I believe his name was. Cool. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate that. Or Daniel. Little Tony from Lone Wolf. I used to work there. Nice. All right, so let's switch back to, let's take a look at some more pictures and see what I can find. All right, so this guy, let's just click on him for a sec. This older gentleman, and I've forgotten his first name. I meant to write it down, but I didn't get a chance to. I believe he's 74 years old, number 47 there. He was out playing, and I had to take a bunch of pictures. Like, this guy was just incredible. I can't give enough props to this gentleman. Like, he's got the suspenders on. The actual pod pack didn't quite fit him properly, and he has like the best game face ever. I think I got a picture of it. Not in this one, but yeah, he was out there and he was laying it down. I did check it out a little bit. Yeah, how is that for a game face? I had to go introduce myself later because he's like, "What are you doing taking pictures of me?" I wish I could remember his name to give him a proper shout out, but that guy was absolutely incredible. And please know that his pod pack is old school Reds, which I just absolutely love. So, yeah, and like I said, it was more social. Like all the pictures were more social than anything else. Like, here was Rocky doing what he did best. Like, he was buzzing around the whole time, making jokes. Love that dude so much. All right, I'm just gonna check back and see what we got. All right, we got Brick in the house saying, "What's good, bro?" And well, you know what? If we got Brick in the house, let's skip a bunch of stuff here because I got a chance to hang with Brick. Now, I don't have my selfie loaded up because these are all from my Canon, but check out this dude. What's good, Brick? This is good, Brick. And Brick was really great. Like, I have to say that everybody was coming up and they were wanting to take pictures, and I had my DLSR, so I was helped snap some pictures. I hope I sent the pictures to you correctly. If not, reach out to me after the podcast, and I'll make sure I send you copies of the pictures. But here's Brick and Rocky, like, just awesome. Oh, and here's one. So, as you all know, paintballers are fun people. I'm not sure where this Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson what came from, but I do know that there was one of these pop-outs at the Applebee's. I never went back to see if that's where it came from, but Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was at ICC in cardboard spirit, and he got a gold chain, and yeah, he was well loved. Let's leave it at that. I'm gonna check in there for a bit. Okay, so what do we got here? Let's see. And thanks again for the photo, Steve. I'm not sure it is, but you're very, very welcome. If Steve were a pedometer, it would say 24 million steps. That would be pretty close. And we got Andy's in the house. Nice, Andy. Great to see you. And we got oh, excellent. Thank you, Rob. So Burl Nolan was the 75-year-old player, and he was playing with Team Intense. Thank you for filling me in, Rob. Rob, that is good. I just couldn't remember what his name, but I thought that was absolutely amazing. And say hi to Bill and Don for me. Absolutely. I will definitely do that for you, Jeannie. And Brick saying it was great hanging with you. Well, it was just so much fun all around. Oh, we got Brett Foster saying, so much fun. Loved this weekend. It was great, wasn't it, Brent? Like, just absolutely amazing. Actually, Brent, I think I got some pictures of you floating around too. Let me just switch back. Oh, I don't want that scene. That's what I want. All right, so let's just zip back a bit. Where were we? Okay, got to scroll back to where we left off. All right, there's Justin, Tony. Take a look at this one here. I'm not quite sure what this. Yeah, so this is just okay. So this was Dynasty's tent, and this is a great example of the Iron City Classic, which most people don't get to appreciate. When you go to the NXL, all these big teams have these big glorious tents and well set up and whatnot. With the Iron City Classic, everybody is just everywhere. You'll really see it with Infamous, because they were just basically flaked out right in front of the what the heck's the name of what's it? What we're talking? Pro DNA. That's what I was looking for. They were at their Infamous booth, but they were just flaked out right in the middle of the vendors area. It was great. All right, so let me just see. Oh, I can't buzz by this without showing Jennifer Montresor in action. She was putting miles on that car. Like, I commented on Russell Jackson earlier. Now I got to comment on Jennifer Montresor. This woman did not stop. She was constantly driving around. She was being mom of the whole tournament. People would get hurt. She'd swing out, make sure that they had proper hydration, making sure that people were taking care of themselves. She never stopped. Just making sure everybody was having a good time, checking in. Jen, you're amazing, and I can't give you enough credit. And thank you so much for the time. Like, she took the moment to sit down and hang out with me, and we just got a chance to chat for a bit. And this is Frank, and Frank was just amazing too. Like, he was just going and going and going. Now, he didn't go as far as fast, but he never stopped trying to make sure everything went smooth. And he had absolutely no problem with when things weren't going smooth, making sure that he stepped in and said, this is how it's going to be, make it go smooth. So here's a great toast to Frank and Jen, because they were all working super hard. All right, I love this picture, and I have to give this lady credit. So this is Jennifer Montresor, and this is so it's Jennifer Montresor, obviously, and this is Mrs. Monville. This is San Monville of Houston Heat's mom. I love this lady so much. Her and her husband, when I was walking by, they were always saying, Steve, come over. You got to try our venison pepperettes, and you got to try our homemade pepperoni. And these were Tim Montresor's favorite cookies. They're only Toll House, but we love them to death. And they were giving me food. They were giving me pop. I got such a warm welcome from the Houston Heat support team, or the Houston Heat support tent. It was amazing. Now, Houston Heat didn't actually play at Iron City Classic, but a lot of them were playing on the Philly All-Americans, or the Philly Americans. And so that's why the Houston Heat players were there. But yeah, that's Sam Monville's mom, and she is the best. And so I have to say thank you so much for being like both of these two ladies. They were like, I had like two moms away from home, and nothing made me feel more welcome. That was just the greatest thing. We got to give these guys credit specifically. Okay, actually, that's Mr. Monville. We were just talking about Sam's mom. That's Sam's dad in the white. And we have Kevin Donaldson and the 13 hat. I don't know if you noticed, but I've got a 13 hat on too. We'll talk about that later. And I've honestly, I forget. I know the other guy, the old guy with Darkside, is a legend, but I can't remember what his name is. There's just so many paintball players, and I meet so many people. But yeah, Kevin Donaldson was just moving around. Anytime Jennifer needed help or needed somebody to lean on, Kevin was stepping in, going, giving advice. It was absolutely amazing. I love that look on Kevin's face, by the way. That if you don't know Kevin very well, these candid shots are the best, because I don't even remember what this time they were talking about, but Kevin has a very, let's call it, New York direct way of saying things, and it's always honest, and it's always just the best. All right, let's check back and see how we're doing here on the things. Oh, Jennifer's in the house. Yay! Hey, Jennifer, thank you again so much. Just for everything. It was amazing. And you did so much. I can't even begin to say how fantastic that was. All right, so what else we got here? Brett's saying I probably have the only ones. Okay, he's talking about pictures, and this event is the main reason I have a Go Sports account. Very cool, Kevin. Very cool. You have to support the paintball media, and I'm not saying specifically paintball media, but the paintball media. You have to support them because we're collecting your history, we're keeping it up. You know what I mean? We're getting it out there. We're trying to pull everybody together. So whether you support paintball media or whether you support Go Sports or both, or your local podcasts like Bricktop, like Behind the Bunker, like Maritime Paintball. My apologies. Like it doesn't matter, but whatever you can do, support paintball media, not specifically paintball media, but support them too. But you have to support paintball media because we're really just trying to really improve the sport and get as much out there as we can. All right. And we got, if that little kid keeps playing, he will absolutely be pro one day. I have no doubt. We are keeping an eye on him as well. And with the Demon too. Awesome. All right. So what do we got here? And always there for free food. See, I wasn't there for free food, but how can somebody hand you homemade venison pepperettes and salami and just, how do you say no to that unless you're a vegan and then you're weird? Well, maybe not weird. That's rude. But if you're vegan, we don't have a lot in common. I will say that. Anyway, moving on. All right. So, and somebody says, thanks for everything, Jennifer. And all right. So what else do we got? All right. Let's just go back to the pictures, shall we? All right. So we got more pictures of Kevin Donaldson. Now, this was cool. That is actually one of Tim Montressor's official jerseys. And depending on how you were playing, the team would support you by letting you wear Tim Montressor's jersey. If I know the story, if I heard the story correctly. So on the Montressor's Maulers, they actually had one of this jersey just kept going around and different people were wearing it, but it was cool to see actual Tim Montressor jerseys being used in games under a team that's named after Tim Montressor himself. And that was just awesome. All right, let's see what else we got. And please don't forget that, like I said, a lot of these pictures I snapped for Paintball Media Magazine. So a lot of them are just candid shots just because I can. Oh, Matty Marshall's in the house. Got to give him a huge shout out. I honestly think Matty Marshall is probably one of the best sports announcers out there. And I'm not saying paintball announcer. I'm literally saying sports announcer. When he talks, despite the fact that it's paintball, I always want to listen to it. When he starts talking, I don't want to yell at the screen saying, why are you talking? I don't care. I love this guy and what he does for the sport. Yeah, I just think he's an absolutely amazing sports commentator, not just a paintball commentator, but a sports commentator. All right, so actually, here are some good pictures. So these are the two teams. We had the Maulers on the one side, and I keep forgetting what the other team's name was, but this was the two kids teams, and the picture of all of them together. Obviously, you got Jennifer Montressor right there in the center, and Frank Montressor in the back. But how cool is that? Like, isn't that like just a great group of people? I think that's amazing. All right, see what else we got. Oh, yeah. Tom Cole was bouncing around, and I snapped a few pictures. He was playing, and I thought that was really cool. But I got my greatest paintball compliment ever. I was walking down a pathway with Tom, and I forget what we were talking about. We were just shooting the breeze. And somebody from the woods, remember I told you everybody just sort of camped out? Somebody from the woods yelled out, Steve, we love your podcast. And I just waved back, yelled back, thank you. And I turned over, and there was this look on Tom's face, like, I don't know, like it's like he recognized that I have a podcast and that I am somewhat popular. I'm not saying I'm hugely popular. There's a reason why the term unknown is in my name, but it was just you had to be there for the moment because this just strange person yelled out. And I got that a lot this weekend, But a strange person yelled out while I'm walking with I don't know, we call him the president of the NXL, but the main guy that runs the NXL. I mean, he has bosses, investors, yes, but majority of the decisions and stuff are done by him and directed by him. So that was a really, really cool moment. But I like the fact that I actually got a chance to hang out with Tom a little bit and walk around. I wouldn't call him a best friend or anything. I wish I could call him a best friend, but it was really cool just to get to know the real Tom Cole, because I have a lot, one more time, a lot of respect for the man. All right, so let's see. We got the pictures of the winners of the 5-man. I snapped a bunch of those. You can see those in the magazine, no problem. All right, so what else is cool? Oh, we got Eric, Ground Zero, and his lovely girlfriend. He hurt his foot, so he was working at the Inception booth all weekend, and he was wheeling around on that cart, and it was hilarious. Let's just switch back and let's see what everybody. Let's just see what we got here. All right, so we got Benji from Armageddon, or Armada, I should say, Mexican Armada team. It was cool hanging out with you, Benji. That was awesome. And we got content creators are our generators and storytellers. Thanks for taking the time, Steve. You are welcome, Russell. Russell, I can't say it enough. I said it earlier in the podcast. I don't know if you were there or not. I did show a picture of you just working your ass off. You did an amazing job. You never stopped. You were always slugging, pushing forward, and just putting out fires as they arose. So I have to give credit to everybody that was behind the Iron City Classic, everybody working there. But since I'm talking to you directly, I have to say that I have nothing but respect for what you accomplished on the weekend. All right, so we got Jennifer's Young Guns. Thank you, Andy. I forget that all the time, and I'm pretty sure it was the first one, and then Montresor's Marauders came second. But I'm running on very little sleep over the last 7 days. It's one of the reasons why I decided just to go solo and just start showing a bunch of pictures, just sharing my experiences. But it was awesome. And we got Kevin saying, Matty Marshall's intro speech on Sunday drivers still gets me. It really does, Kevin. Like, you're bang on, 100% correct. Now, if you'll excuse me, I just have a little more of this transfuse here because I'm thirsty and I'm talking a lot. All right. Let's get back to the picture, shall we? All right. So, wrong button. Ha! I do that. All right. So we covered Eric, and obviously Planet Eclipse was there. That was great. Here's a couple cool dudes. This is Connor, and he is, I guess, the official paintball nomad. Connor's the guy in the red hat. He was taking a lot of pictures and things like that. He is also part of the Ally Remembered Foundation, and he's a big part of, I shouldn't say, he's got a little hand in everything. And then we got Ryan Freeman. Ryan was the guy that was my coach for Destiny Midwest when I played NXL for the very first time in Chicago. And I can't say enough fantastic things about Ryan and how much I like hanging out with him and chatting. He just makes me laugh all the time. So I was glad to see him this weekend, and he was playing with Armada, which is the Mexican team. And yeah, they had a really good weekend. They didn't win as much as they want, but I mean, who other than Dynasty actually wins as much as they want? And even then, I don't think they win as much as they want. But point is, Armada had a great time, and it was really cool to be hanging out with these two dudes on the weekend. All right, what else we got? And I got to show this picture as well. Travis Lemansky actually was suited up, and he was playing and handing out wholesale ass this weekend, and they ultimately won the 10-man. And but I have to also point out that Dilly Dilly Donuts was there, and those donuts are absolutely fantastic. I stole as many as I could from as many people as I could. So yeah, Dilly, keep putting them out there so I can just keep stealing donuts from everybody else. All right, so what else we got? Pictures. More pictures of... This is actually a cool picture. There's nothing specific about it, but this is pretty much how the whole weekend looked when you were walking around. It was bright. It was sunny. It was hot, but it wasn't too hot. Everything was clear up until like the finals when it actually started to rain a bit. But this picture here is actually a great representation of the Iron City Classic this year. It was just beautiful. All right, what else we got? Let's see. We got more pictures of Kevin Donaldson, and obviously Connor and Kevin know each other because they were making jokes. Oh, we got to show this picture. All right, so this is one of Caesar's early supercar. Well, I shouldn't say early because it says 2020. This gun is wicked. I got a chance to hold it and pop a couple dry rounds from it. This thing is absolutely amazing. I think Andy was actually using it as his main gun when he was playing in 10-man. But yeah, this gun is just incredible. I can't even begin to tell you how nice that ammo job is. This picture absolutely does nothing for this gun. This gun is 1,000 times better than this picture ever makes it out to be. I would own this gun in a heartbeat if I could afford something like it. It's just absolutely amazing. All right, so what else we got? Yes. So this guy was a really cool dude. He came with one of I forget what number it was, but it was the absolute first of a line of CS2s, I believe, and it was the infamous edition. And he was looking for a Sharpie, which I just happened to have because I have a few people that were asking me for autographs, so I was carrying a Sharpie around with me. And he looked at Boro and I said, "Listen, I'll do you one better. I'll help take some pictures." So the infamous guys were all nice enough to sign the CS2 for him. So, and there's Lasoya, but so everybody was signing. I just love this about paintball. I mean, I know that there's other sports where the actual athletes interact, but I can't think of a sport where just average Joe can walk up and just start talking with people, and everybody will make time for you. Like, I mean, unless you're on deck, in which case leave them the hell alone because teams got to get ready to play. But I mean, there's Travis Lemansky signing it. Like, I absolutely love this about paintball and about our sport in general. Like, everybody pitches in. Like, and then I made sure I took some time to take pictures. Like, how cool is that for Travis Delansky just to take time out? I mean, they're getting ready to play and they still take time for this guy, right? I think it's just amazing. And then obviously Caesar was in the booth, so we got Caesar to sign it as well. Now, I'm not sure how much respect I have for this guy now that I'm noticing he's a Browns fan. But I'm just joking. Anyway, so all right, what other pictures do we have here? Actually, check back and see what people have to say. Oh, no new comments. All right, what else we got? Scroll down a little bit more. That is the players getting ready, or the ready area. Another picture of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. All right, I got to embarrass my teammates on Team Fox a little bit because I snapped some candid pictures while they're getting ready to go. Aren't those beautiful automags? A lot of them are using the nail gun, which is all carbon fiber. But I mean, how cool is that? Like, that gun is just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Oh, and then we're back to Bricktop again. We've already seen those pictures. All right, so I believe we're into Saturday now because John Amadei didn't show up till Saturday morning, the lazy so-and-so. And everything really started to fill out come Saturday because Friday was 5-man. But here's a great picture of John Amadei and Jennifer Montresor. I really do think that John Amadei deserves a lot more credit and a lot more spotlight than he has. He has done so much for paintball, and most people do not have any idea just how much he's done. So it's just amazing. All right, so what else we got here? He caught me taking Archie caught me taking what's it called? Candid pictures, and he had to pose up. And I just think those are incredible. Anyway, all right. So more Jennifer and John Amadea. What else we got here? Ground Zero Reds. Now this one didn't come out as clear as I would have liked, but we got Will. I was glad to finally meet him. I've met him in person before, but it's been a long, long time. And I didn't get a chance to actually get him on the podcast, but hopefully sometime soon. All right, let's see what else we got. Okay. Oh, now is a perfect time to talk about this guy right here. This is Rosie, and this is Rosie being colorful Rosie and making his point. I love Rosie so much. I've met Rosie in the past, but it's been forever, and I wouldn't say that I know him. But there are people you read about that you just have to respect, and Robert Rosie Rose is one of them. He is a main guy behind the Master Blasters. Been with them for forever. I'm not sure if he was in the original Master Blasters. I can't remember, but he might as well have been. It's been that long since he's been with them. He's been head judge, head ref, head everything. Like, he is one of the most respected people in paintball. And while I really wanted to meet Nicky Cuba, and that was a rush, and I really wanted to meet Rich Telford and shake his hand, that was a rush. I honestly think the person that meant the most to me was meeting Rosie. I wasn't expecting it, and I wasn't expecting how much I actually liked this guy. Now, I've got selfies with him, but let me just switch back to this for a second here. All right, so the really cool thing about it is this hat. I don't know if you noticed on some of the pictures that of Kevin Donaldson, but he was wearing a hat just like this, black number 13. And this hat is actually in memory of one of the Master Blasters teammates, Dave Cilio. And I was commenting to Rosie how cool the hat was. And Rosie literally gave me the hat right off his head. Like, how awesome is that? You've got this special hat. Only a few were made, of one of your best friends for decades. And you give somebody else your hat. So I had it signed. As you can see, Rosie 56. And I had Kevin Donaldson sign it too. Yes, I know Kevin and I are friends. And I guess Rosie and I are friends as well. So signatures kind of seem a little weird. But I geek out on this sport. I geek out on it a lot. And this hat means just the world to me. So I'm wearing it tonight, and expect to see this hat pretty much in every podcast from now on, because once I reorganize everything behind me, this hat is going to have a permanent place on this podcast because of all the things that I have in paintball. This is probably one of the most special items that I own. So, yeah. Anyway, Rosie, thank you so much. I hope you're watching. I hope you're not bored. I hope you get a chance to hear this, but I have nothing but the utmost respect for you, what you did. And if I don't change the topic, I'm going to start crying just a little bit. So we're going to move on. Let's get back to pictures. Oh, wait a second. 1 second here. We got a cool comment from Kathy Alvarez. Said, love the hat. Thank you, Kathy. I love it too, obviously. And we got Kevin saying, I was always amazed at Lasoya's ability to be the meanest SOB on game side of the net and then immediately cross the net and become a great promoter of paintball. I'm not sure I agree with the word always, but Lasoya is awesome and definitely one of my favorite players of all time because he just has that charisma that pulls people in. Like he's just a riot to be around. And I'm going to say it. He's an asshole, but I love him for it. Do you know what I mean? Like I he's such an asshole. And I love him all the more for it because he's honest. And if he likes you, he likes you. If he doesn't, he doesn't. And even if he doesn't like you, if you're in trouble, he will try to help you. Lest you're on the other side and his mask is on and your mask is on, because then he's coming for you and he is going to try to make sure that you lose. And that's honest too. So not sure I would say Losoya is one of the greatest promoters in paintball, but he is definitely one of our best personalities. And I love him to death. In no way, shape, or form am I putting him down. That's not my intent at all. I'm just calling it as I see it, and I don't think he would want me to say it any other way. So, yeah. And Kevin Donaldson, you are very welcome. Master Blasters are very welcome. And I wish one more time, I wish I'd gotten a chance to earn that Master Blaster t-shirt this weekend. But as I told you then, and I'm going to tell everybody now, my back is a little tender and I am seriously overweight for my build. I mean, I'm not big and fat or anything like that, but I was always a really skinny guy. So 220 pounds is not helping my back and it's not helping my knees. So I've gone on a diet. I've gotten rid of all the pop in the house. I've gotten rid of all the sweets. I only pig out when I'm actually on paintball trips. Otherwise, I tried my best to eat and drink a lot more responsibly. I have started working out on a regular basis, doing exercises. I'm down 15 pounds in the last couple of weeks. I just weighed myself a little while ago. And my goal is to be in fighting shape for Woods Ball World Cup, Kevin, at your tournament next year. So I've got a little less than a year, but I only have to lose about 40 pounds, give or take. I'm at 220, or I was at 220, and I want to be at 175, although 185 is acceptable. But I don't want to be a tag along that you sort of pity put on, and then, here's an alt, give you a chance to play. You're a cool dude. Give one of our guys a rest. I don't want to be that guy. I mean, I love it and I appreciate it, and I'm not putting that position down. But come Woods Ball World Cup, I want to be a full-on killer. I want to be practicing. I want to be fit fighting shape. I want to be a starter. I want to be a go-to. I want to be handing out wholesale ass and just feeding it to people. And I'm going to be that guy at the beginning of next year. So that's why as upset I was that I wasn't able to play because I was hurting. I probably could have forced my way through and played a game, but I'm not going to hurt myself and put my goals backwards. I am going to be smart over the next few months, get healthy, get really healthy, shed the pounds. And when I see you guys at Woods Ball World Cup, if you're on my team, be happy. If you're on the other side, be afraid. Because I want to eat people. All right. So anyway, what do we got? We got glad to see you got some rest. Great hanging out with you at ICC, brother. Thank you, Facebook user. Somebody's got to tell me who you are. All right. And I didn't say ambassador. I said promoter. He does draw interest in whatever game he's in. All right, Kevin, I will agree with you on that. He definitely does draw interest of that. There is no question. And can't wait to play Woods Ball World Cup with you next year, boss. Can't wait to play with you as well, Brent. And we got, you can play ICPL in Chicago with if you like. Kevin, not saying no. And I can try, but I got to find a way to get there. We can talk about that off screen. But everybody notice, I'm not making it up. the Kevin Donaldson is inviting me to play as I'm assuming as an alternate on the Master Blasters. And even if I'm not able to make, how cool, not is only of him, but how great a compliment is that, damn it, Kevin, you're going to start making me cry. Stop it. Just stop it. All right. Anyway, and we got Andy saying that was Josh Strum. Ah, cool. Very, very cool. All right. So let's get back to some pictures. What else we got here? So we talked about Rosie, and I ought to be honest, I'm really not sure. Like, I just love this picture. Ground Zero Gold. I'm not exactly sure what this guy's name is. I know I should know. I know he's famous. I know all that. I don't know him well, but I saw this picture and he was just exuding so many great vibes. I just had to take this picture for Paintball Media Magazine. All right. And then let's see what we got here. All right. So this is the Dynasty camp. I had to do take a chance to snap a few pictures. This guy's stretching out. I'm just taking regular pictures, and they start teasing me for taking pictures of his ass. So I took another picture, and then just because I had to be me, oh yeah, I did it. I took a picture of his ass because I'm not sure whose ass that is, but I did it. And then Yosh was being polite. I think I was interrupting something. Snapped a couple more pictures, and then I got out of there. Ryan never seems to smile when I'm around. I'm not sure if he likes me or doesn't like me or couldn't give a crap or has no idea who I am. Probably has no idea who I am. But yeah, he just never seems to smile for me. All right, so that was Dynasty. They won 5-man, by the way. What else we got? I'll snap through a few of these pictures here. So I got a picture with Rob Walker because Rob wanted a good one. I don't know if you guys noticed, but you see the picture of Paintball Media Magazine on the back in the yellow. Okay, so I took that picture that was on the cover, and then John Amadea edited it. But the Nail Gun Auto Mag, I wrote that article. I wrote the Yeti Squad article. I wrote the Rally Remember Foundation article, and I wrote another article in there, I believe, as well. And then you have Marcus Davis. But I like to think of that as my magazine because, well, just look at the cover. That's freaking my magazine, as far as I'm concerned. So that's probably one of my proudest moments in paintball, of just having complete dominance of that one issue. And then we got Kevin Donaldson and John Amadea catching up. Had to snap some pictures of that. What else we got? Yeah, now they actually posed for me. And there's the hat, Kevin wearing the number 13 hat. What else we got here? Okay. Don't want to break my computer with those two guys. All right, so I walked out quickly onto the Mounds field with Amadea. He was talking with some people. Here's another good example of Russell Jackson. Like, he was out working around. You just got to look at the expression on his face. Like, I snapped a few here. He was hustling the whole time. If there was anybody that walked more than I did, it was Russell. And there's a picture of Archie Mortimer's backside. Okay, so here's some pictures I was really proud of. So I got to share these. I was able to get Sam Monville, Adam Gardner, and Nikki Cuba, and they were all just sort of standing around having a chat. That's like 3 generations or 3 evolutions. Maybe not generations. That's 3 evolutions of pros. Like 3 completely different time zones. I mean, they all crossed over. I mean, they're all playing together. But seriously, how cool is that? I think that these pictures actually sum up the Iron City Classic the best. Like, oh, let's go back to this for a second. All right, I think this really sums up the Iron City Classic the best because you're able to get different, not generations, but evolutions of paintballers all together, just playing together, having a great time. And I believe they came in second in the 10-man. They did a really good job. And then I had to snap a few pictures of Armada. I love these guys so much. Like they're an all Mexican team. A lot of them don't speak English because they actually come straight from Mexico, but just a riot, make me laugh, make me happy. Like, how cool are these guys? Seriously. Excuse me 1 second. Like, just, I got a chance to hang out with them a little bit more, and I want to hang out with them more. Actually, they're the reason why I want to start learning how to speak Spanish, because these guys are just a howl. So much fun. All right, what else we got here? So let's go back and check and see what the. All right, so we got. Oh, not Strum, it was Shrum. My apologies. And somebody said, thanks, buddy. Not sure who that is, but you're very welcome. And Raul from Armada. Awesome. Kathy saying, wow, Kevin had a smile. Right? He's awesome. And she said, I thought Paintball Media was Bill's magazine. No, it's John Amadeus, unless Bill is a silent partner that I don't know about, which is possible. But Bill had Warpig and things like that. So I'm not sure. I'll have to look into it, and I'll ask John Amadei about it, because you very well might be right, and I may not know the full history of the magazine. I'm not sure. I don't know. So, but I do know that when you go to the back page of Paintball Media Magazine, John Amadea is the editor, writer, and he does all sorts of really cool stuff. But I know Bill, and Bill's awesome, and he's amazing, and it wouldn't surprise me if Bill has a hand in it, but I don't know for sure. I just automatically thought that Paintball Media was specifically owned by John Amadea and his wife, but not 100% sure, so please nobody lynch me. I do not know the answer to that question. All right, let's get back to some pictures. What else we got? And yeah, for those of you that don't know, Tom Cole was playing on Dark Side, which I thought was really, really cool to see him playing again. That was amazing. I don't know the story behind this, but I had to take a picture. All the paintballs stuck together in a perfect pod. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. I don't know how it happened. And what's more amazing is that there was 2 of them. Like, how? I don't get it. Anyway, I had to take a picture of that. All right, what else we got? We got actually, this is one of the things I was talking about earlier. Remember how I said that everybody just sort of flopped where they flopped? Well, there's Infamous just hanging out right in the middle of Vendors Row, just relaxing, getting together. I don't remember if they had just played or they're going to be playing soon, and they were all waiting and talking strategy. I don't remember, but this is another perfect example of what the Iron City Classic's all about. Like, you could go anywhere, you could talk to anybody. Everybody was relatively approachable. Like, most people were really approachable. The Misfit guys, they were off. They had their own little place at the far side of the what's it called? Parking lot, as did the All-Americans, and Dynasty had found their little place for them to hide where they parked some vans around so they could try to stay secluded. But for the most part, most teams were just like this, out and open and willing to talk to just about anybody. And I just absolutely loved that whole vibe. All right, these absolutely cutie pictures are of Russell Jackson's young boy, and I think that's amazing. Actually, speaking of Russell Jackson, here's a good John Amadeo was interviewing him a little bit, had him all wired up. So here's a couple pictures of John Amadeo behind the scenes working on the upcoming documentary. I think that's pretty cool. And then Andy had to get some pictures done. He had to do some posing in his band shirt because the band wasn't there, but Andy had to represent. and he wanted me to get some pictures of the battle scars that he'd done. As you can see, he was using that gorgeous super cocker that Caesar provided. That thing is just money. I can't even begin to tell you how nice that autococker is. I don't think we need to see any more of Andy. And then we are down to a few pictures that Team Fox asked me to take of their automags because he wanted them all together. I don't think these pictures turned out as nicely as I would have liked. I tried taking some pictures, but I don't know. It just didn't seem to work for me, but I'll share them anyway because these mags are absolutely gorgeous. And really, we need more automags in paintball. We just do. I'm an autococker guy, but I got to appreciate that these automags are gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. So, yeah. And I love these RC Customs modular stands too. You can get them customized any way you want. It's just gorgeous. Love them. All right. So that pretty much covers all the pictures that I have for the most part, and gives you a good feel for how the ICC went for me and what I did. I hope that was a good representation. And okay, so what we got here? Back in the day, he wrote articles for several paintball magazines. Warpig is his first ever paintball website. I haven't been able to follow his whole paintball career as he's been on the other side of the continent for over 2 decades. And yes, I'm actually, just so you know, I'm actually friends with Bill and Don Mills. Don was my first ever interview for this podcast when I was just audio only. So if you go on to your favorite podcast audio provider like iTunes or Spotify, if you look back, I think she was episode 3 or 4. The first couple I did by myself, just learning how things were and how to post. But Don Mills was my absolute first interview. Now, the sound wasn't very good, unfortunately. I want to try to update that, but it was absolutely amazing. Sorry, I had to have some of my transfuse. All right, so we got Brent here saying, no pictures of me. I am good at avoiding cameras. Well, since you put it that way, 1 second here. Give me a second here. All right. Give me a second. No pictures. Ahem. You were saying? I do believe that that's you right there, Mr. Foster. It even says Foster on the back of your jersey. Yeah. I'm awesome. I know. You can all worship me. You're welcome to. Anyway. All right, guys. Well, we've been going for almost an hour and a half, and that's a lot of talking for me. Normally, I let my guests try to do as much of the talking as possible. But I just wanted to talk about ICC. I wanted to give my opinions, and I wanted to share some of the pictures that I did, and I wanted to answer questions. It's amazing. If you've never been to the Iron City Classic, go. I don't care if you're a MagFed player or a stock class player, just go. It's not typical tournament paintball. It's paintball from the 90s. It really is. Taking the electronics out of it, taking it back to when we were all mechanical and we all just tried everything in our power to get that little extra edge, get that little extra speed. We'd have to play in different tournaments, different terrains, none of this getting the field layout a week in advance or 2 weeks in advance and be able to practice it over and over and over till you had every lane picked up. No, back then we used to travel and we would play fields that were completely foreign. You'd have to go out and you'd have to walk it, and that had to be one of your skills. And the ICC does that. And truthfully, even if you're a MagFed player, you actually have a shot. If you were to create a whole team of MagFed players, you could go out and with proper communication and proper shooting, like I really think that you could win a few games. I'm not saying that you'd be able to win the tournament because when you've got pros like Infamous out there, but how satisfying would it be if you took a net MagFed, and you went out and you took out a few players? Because points matter. Like some of the people won and lost, or some of the people lost out on being in finals and semifinals by like 2-3 points. And that's individual players. Like you just didn't shoot enough people. But how cool would that be if you just, as a MagFed player, if you went out and you played tournaments in open class paintball? See, that's what we did back in the 90s. Like you get good at what you had, and you'd go out and you'd play and you'd try to improve. And it was so much fun. And you'd get to these fields and you would have to walk them, and you would have to be smart, and you would have to use communication, and you'd have to be able to play multiple fields because no two were the same. It required better gunfighting skills. It just did. And now I'm not taking away from the NXL because they're the best of the best, but this is a different animal. This is a different beast. This requires a high paintball IQ. It's just, I love it. I love it. And if you like paintball, I hope you'd love it too. So if you get the chance to go to the Iron City Classic, definitely go. But yeah, so anyway, I think this is my show for tonight. I think I'm going to call it. My back's still pretty tender, and I think I want to go lie down and veg. I actually passed out today for like 3 hours this afternoon, which I just laid down and I was out. So I got a whole lot of sleep to catch up on. But yeah, what a fantastic weekend. Can't thank the Ally Remembered Foundation enough for giving me the opportunity to be out there and hang out in the Ally Remembered Foundation booth. And can't thank Paintball Media enough, for specifically John Amadea, for getting me out there and letting me help work with him, working on the new documentary. I'm really excited for that. I think you guys are all going to like it. I'm going to be narrating this one again, not just editing or helping with the editing. So I really like doing the narrations. And maybe I just like listening to myself talk. But yeah, so if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. In the meantime, I guess this is where we call it a night. So play with passion, everybody, and keep your paint dry. See y'all next week. Ciao.